What's in the box?
Ahoy, comic art lovers! Stingray here, welcoming you back once again to the Art Cove, and where I have just returned from Baltimore Comic Con, and boy, is my everything tired. It was a long, but strangely somehow over too fast weekend of hanging out with friends, meeting some new friends, making new connections, checking out some great art, buying a few comics, and just it was a whirlwind and it was a blast. And I thought it would be fun to do a quick little review of some of the stuff that I picked up. I won't be taking anything out of a box exactly, so no unboxing, but more of an art unveiling or revealing, if you will. And I've got a couple of pieces to show you guys. So the first piece that I have is a small one, and actually it does have a box. This is a piece that I purchased from Tatiana of TD Comic Art, I think last month, during a all Spider-Man themed sketch card drop. And I was able to snag this really cool Spidey 2099 card by Rafael Maldonado Badhand. He's one of Tatiana's artists who actually did a mystery sketch for me last year. Spidey 2099 was one of my favorites when I was younger. I still think that the costume design is really great. And I thought this card was pretty awesome. And it was a very affordable piece of art. And Tatiana was kind enough to bring it to the show and hand it off to me there. So that one was pretty sweet. That's the first piece. The next piece, I had one pre-show commission that I booked at Baltimore. And this was with an indie comics artist named Andrew Cronky. I found out about Andrew via Chris Norick. He had a Punisher commission that he got from Andrew that was picked up for him by friend of the show, friend of the Cove, Tyler T, at Eddie Pecan. And Snork showed off, well, actually, he did an unboxing on a CAF update a couple of weeks ago. I thought that that Punisher commission was really sweet. And when I went to check out Andrew's Instagram, all of his work was killer. And I thought I definitely need to get a piece from him. So I reached out and we arranged a commission. And it was great because he asked if I had any photo reference or whatever, or you know, a particular costume or something that I might want him to use. And I told him if he needs reference, he can just check out my Instagram to see some of my other commissions. And at which point he said, wow, you have a lot of great stuff. I need to step up my game. And then he asked if it was okay if he included a shark in the commission. And I said, of course, we love sharks here at the Cove. So this is what Andrew came up with, and I think he definitely brought his A game to this one. I don't think I've ever seen Stingray look quite this jacked. He is a very strong fella in this one. I love the tiger sharks in this. I love that kind of reference to the villainous brother-in-law. I love just how ripped Stingray is in this one. I really like how we've got the shadows in the water on the bottom of the piece here that kind of mimic the lines of the wings / cape. The dappled water up at the top is really cool. And I know this is an odd one, but I really like the way that the hands came out on this. I think that they look really nice. Hands are notoriously difficult to draw, and these ones are pretty sweet. So just an overall strong commission, excellent addition to the collection. And it really warmed my heart because I got a picture of myself and Andrew with the commission, and I posted that on Instagram after I got the piece. And several of the other indie artists, including Vero Stewart and Jeremy Heiler, who have also done Stingrays for me, welcomed Andrew to Team Stingray or the Stingray Squad. I don't know which name I like better, but I think I need to make shirts or maybe like a certificate or something that I can give out to artists who do commissions for me. But that's a future project. And finally, I have one last piece that I got at the show. And this is one I wasn't really planning on getting any other commissions at the show, but I was walking along and I stumbled across a booth of an artist that I actually just followed on Instagram like maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, something around there. And I saw that he was there at the show, flipped through a couple of portfolios, saw some of his published work, almost bought a cover, but it was like a big one. Anyway, Loved his work immediately. Thought it was really fantastic. Enjoyed getting to see it in person. And the artist is John J. Pearson. And I got to talk to John a little bit about some of his process. Some of his pieces like had tape on them, and had questions about what that was about and what he was using it for. He was more than happy to discuss his process, talk about what that did for the piece, and he showed me like what the published version looked like, how digital colors kind of came in after the fact to complete it. Really great conversation, really great guy, and I decided that I wanted to see what he could do with Stingray. And it was interesting because his work tends to lean more into like horror type stuff or surrealism. And I wanted to see what he could do with Stingray. And so I opted for the 9x12 option, full color, which is, I'm not 100% sure what the medium is on this completely. There's a little bit of watercolor. I think there might be some marker, like some Posca pen or something. There might be some colored pencils. It looks like this might be, truly mixed media. But this is the outcome. I really, really enjoy this one. This is such a strong piece. The way that Stingray's looking up, going up in the water, launching himself. The slight reflection of the red in the like at the surface of the water there, I think is really cool. I really like just the bubbles, the takeoff, right? It looks like a rocket ship taking off. I think this is really strong. All the little fish on the sides with just the slight amount of the light reflecting off of them, really well done. Just lots of nice colors, kind of washed out colors in the water. And I like how the sunburst on Stingray's chest it looks more like just a circle. You don't really have those really defined points on it, but it makes sense because he's underwater, so you'd get a little bit of obfuscation there, and then just the motion, right? It's a little bit of a underwater motion blur, I guess. I just thought that overall this was a really cool piece, and the fact that John was able to get this done over the course of the weekend, at the show and maybe a little bit at night, in the hotel or something. This came out really well, and I'm happy to add this one to the collection as well. And John said that this one was outside of his comfort zone, but he had fun doing it. And I love to hear that. Because if the artist is having fun, that means that I'm going to get a good commission. And I think this is proof of that. So if you guys want to get a commission from either Andrew or John, you should definitely check them both out on Instagram. I would definitely give them both a follow. They both do awesome work. Reach out and see if you can get a commission from them because they're awesome and they're both really nice guys. Well, that's my recap for my Baltimore art haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, every day is a great day for Stingray.